Hello, and welcome to True Talk Chelsea. This is the number one podcast for all your Chelsea wants and needs. We hope you enjoy.
That's right, guys. Welcome back to True Talk Chelsea. It is 3 a.m. here in India, and I've just finished seeing the Chelsea versus Sheffield United game. In today's podcast, I'm going to be speaking about the game, going to be assessing some of the points such as standout performers, going to be looking at a brief into Tuchel'S start as manager of Chelsea, and also going to be discussing a bit more about coming fixtures and some positives and negatives out of this particular game. So if you're viewing this video on YouTube, make sure you give us a follow or make sure you subscribe to our channel. If you're viewing it or listening to it on Spotify, make sure you give us a follow and keep listening to True Talk Chelsea for more top quality Chelsea content. Let's get started with the video. So it was Tuchel's fourth game as Chelsea manager. After a draw in his first game, he went on to win the other two games, and now he's made it 3 in a row. So he's still unbeaten. Also, it's worth noting that during Tuchel's reign, short stint till now, during his first 4 games, Chelsea have conceded the least goals out of any club, or second least, if you would consider Manchester City, who've conceded 1-2, and we've actually let in the least shots on target and have had the most touches in the opposition box, which is also completed the most passes in this short period of time. These are some very impressive figures in my opinion. So Tuchel's philosophy of the 3 at the back system has done pretty well. One thing that I've liked a lot is how some players, to name a few, Alonso, Rudiger, Christensen, Jorginho and Kovacic to an extent, all of them who were looking so down and out under Frank Lampard, have sort of rejuvenated their careers under Tuchel. Tuchel has shown great faith in all of them. Like, picking Alonso over Chilwell is quite a risky decision, to be honest, and if it doesn't go well, we are quite aware how a large part of our fan base is so reactionary. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that decision cost Chelsea some points and then fans would already be Tuchel out. But yeah, he's made some bold decisions and clearly all of them are paying off. Talking about today's game, I wouldn't say it was the most satisfying performance. Being very honest, if we face a team which are rock bottom of the league, we are aiming for top 4 this season, maybe higher, maybe we could look at second or third, I don't know. We are looking to defeat Atletico Madrid in the round of 16, so I don't necessarily think it was a very good performance. Like, Mendy had to make a save in the last moments of the game, and just right now all the Chelsea players, fans celebrating a win, but maybe we should have killed off the game a lot earlier, should have made it 3-1. Talking about the game, it was for me, man of the match, Timo Werner, no doubt. Well, he did not end his goal drought, which many people did expect him to, including myself. Rather, more than expectation, it was a hope that Timo Werner must end his goal drought. That didn't happen, but it didn't stop him from having a great impact in the game. Was highly impactful in both the goals. You know, the first goal, Chilwell gets the ball, he makes such an amazing run, and then that bliss of speed to reach towards the ball, amazing run, and then amazing movement from Giroud. Sometimes the movement by this striker gets quite unnoticed because of he's not exactly involved in the play directly, but it is because of Giroud's movement that he takes one defender with him, which leaves a pocket and whole block of space empty for the cutback. And Timo Werner had the awareness to look up, find Mason Mount, and that was such a difficult finish in my opinion. I mean, the ball came on Mason's weaker foot, which is left foot, and the angle also favoured the goalkeeper a bit. With the precision and enough power, he hit it, Mason. I mean, all I can do is laugh at the people who believed that he is not good enough for Chelsea and he was being played only because of um, being Lampard's son. No, he's not Lampard's son. He's not Southgate's son. He's actually a dream for any manager because of the work rate he puts in, and I'm just impressed by how his all-round game has developed. I mean, if you looked at the flick from over the defender, I don't know. I don't see many people talking about it now because for some reason even the commentators didn't mention it. But that was so good to see, and it's actually really good to see Mason developing his entire game. You'd always get in that work rate while defending, creativity while going ahead, set piece delivery, which I don't think was necessarily pretty good in this game, but has been good all season. Another two players that I would like to highlight would be firstly Mateo Kovacic. Again, I was highly impressed during Lampard's final games as Chelsea manager. Kovacic was one player which highly let me down because after last season, Kovacic being named as Chelsea Player of the Year, I really had high hopes for him to kick on and move into a different level this season. However, the way he started wasn't exactly what he showed glimpses of last season. He had a poor start, but since Tuchel, he's been amazing in that partnership along with Jorginho. What I like about Kovacic so much is that he's always looking to make something, to create something. He is not afraid to take a man on, even though it's from a central position. He probably, if he gets dispossessed, then it would probably open up a chance for a counter or for Sheffield to find a break. But then he's always looking to take that man on, to do complete and dribble over there, and 9 times out of 10 he succeeds in doing that. And while Jorginho is more of sidewards passing, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but Kovacic, if you look at him, he has great vision. He looks up and then tries so many long balls. I mean, the first chance we had in the game was yet an amazing long ball by Kovacic for Timo Werner, and I saw more 3 to 4 of these in the game. I was highly impressed by Mateo Kovacic yet again. Another player I would talk about is Antonio Rudiger. Well, if you all are expecting that I would speak in negative of Rudiger, that's not going to be the case because own goal, it was a very dreadful own goal for him to concede. He should have left it for a goalkeeper, or maybe he should have cleared it. He should have had better communication, definitely should have done better with that one. And maybe if we didn't find the winner through the penalty, we would all be criticizing Rudiger. But trust me, if we have won this game 2-1 rather than drawing it 2-2, it is because of what Rudiger did in the final 15 minutes. There was an amazing defensive header from a set piece. This was followed by, there was an amazing run by a certain Sheffield player from outside the box, and just as he was about to pull it back, Rudiger stretched and made an amazing block. And then in extra time, he made a double block too. So it was quite a redemption according to me. He quite clearly made up for the mistake. No denying that it was a dreadful mistake, and I'm sure Rudiger will look back to it and he will try to work on the communication with the Senegalese keeper, but definitely some positives from his performance too. Just a short mention of Andreas Christensen as well. According to me, he looked more composed than any other Chelsea defender on the ball. He had that one amazing moment which made an amazing run, taking 2 to 3 players on. And since Thiago Silva is out, I would really hope that he builds up on this performance and gives tight competition to Zuma, who I think should be available from next game on. Also, speaking about Rudiger, I'm not so sure if there are quite many racist comments on his post right now, because it has now become a trend and Rudiger has already been subject to racism in his career. But I did see 1 or 2 of them. However, I don't think you can just remove it altogether. But I really hope that or the social media platforms, which is Instagram or whatever, take up action against every one of those comments. And I really hope that we do not, as Chelsea fans, in any way, any manner, support racism, because here we, all of us at True Talk Chelsea, are completely against racism, and we believe that there is no room for racism in football or anywhere. Talking about the team for the day, Tuchel has kind of confused me, not gonna lie, because it's no secret that Chelsea has got a big squad, and sometimes keeping all the players happy must be a tedious job. I mean, if you see players like Pulisic, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech, Tammy Abraham weren't even involved in today's game altogether, and likes of Hudson-Odoi came off the bench. Well, the first area of competition would be the left wing back position. The way it started, it looked like Ben Chilwell would just own the position, but we know what Alonso can do at left wing back, and he supported his cause with a couple of impressive games. I don't think it was Chilwell's best performance, and I think there would be doubts whether Chilwell is a better option than Alonso at the wing back position, not the full back position. But this competition is good because it's limited to 2 players. But if you go further ahead, you would find a big competition for the midfield spots as well as the forward spots. So yeah, I think Tuchel is adamant on playing a midfield 2 now, which is a good option. We've got Jorginho and Kovacic, which Chelsea fans are abbreviating as Jovacic now. Mightily impressed, but obviously there's N'Golo Kante, who's come off injury, and he's one of the best defensive mids in world football. There's no denying that. And reportedly, even Billy Gilmour has been promised some first team minutes by the manager. So it would be interesting to see how he rotates it. And with the big games coming, does he continue to put Jorginho and Kovacic, or he brings in N'Golo Kante and drops one of the 2 I mentioned earlier? Moving on to the forward position is one which has puzzled me a lot. Also bringing back to the midfield positions, I'm sorry. There were reports that Tuchel is looking to build on the midfield with Jorginho and Kovacic. So maybe this would be a setback for Kante. But then Tuchel also came out to say that he wanted N'Golo Kante in his team for years at PSG, and now he plays under him. So this leaves me a bit confused, because obviously Tuchel left him on the bench for today's game as well. Speaking about forwards, Christian Pulisic wasn't even a part of the substitutes today for some reason, and this surprised me a lot because of the fact that Pulisic and Tuchel go a way back to Borussia Dortmund, and therefore I expected Pulisic to have high number of minutes under Thomas Tuchel, but it's clearly not the case. Another player that I'm extremely worried about when it comes to game time is Hakim Ziyech. I don't think Kai Havertz will have a lot of issue in that regard, because Tuchel, one of the key reasons behind his appointment was the fact that Timo Werner and Havertz, who are both new signings, who are both 1 or 2 for the future because of what they have achieved in the Bundesliga and how they have been rated by pundits. We had Michael Ballack coming and saying in defense of Kai Havertz quite recently. I don't think that would be an issue, but Hakim Ziyech seems to be not getting any minutes at all. And even with the forward 3, Tuchel is sometimes opting to play 2 strikers, as he did today. He also did, I think, against Wolves with Tammy and Timo starting, and the number 10, which is Mason Mount. Hudson-Odoi also was being given a large number of minutes. So as we can see, there are a lot of players who are being thrown in the equation over here. And while there are many advantages of the same, such as not choosing out of form players and rather playing the players who have been on form, or many advantages while injuries and other such circumstances. But I think not having a fixed squad week in and week out is a major con as well, because there's going to be a lot of squad rotation which is required, considering that Tuchel has to keep all his players happy. They are obviously big name players, we should call them, and this is kind of worrying for me. But now we've got two more easy games, I should say, excluding one versus Barnsley, so that would be three. I think there's one against Newcastle, one against Barnsley, and another Premier League game which I'm not so sure about before the run starts. And that run includes the likes of Atletico Madrid twice, and we'll have Manchester United, Everton, Liverpool. So this is a really tough time this is the time we should capitalize. Get not as many but all the points before we enter that tough run of fixtures. A win today, now we're just 1 point behind Liverpool. Just think about the time Chelsea sacked Frank Lampard. Chelsea were probably 8th, 9th, I don't even remember, and we were just going one direction, which was lower. And Liverpool were considered title contenders along with Manchester City. And I do accept that Liverpool have not been up to the mark, but then since then Tuchel has taken over, and now both the clubs are just 1 point apart. So realistically, I would keep my hopes on a top 4 finish this season. While at the start of the season, if I told you all there would just be a top 4 finish, not many would be content, considering that we had top 4 finish last season too. But then this season has been different. The new signings haven't really clicked. Frank Lampard has been sacked, and there's a lot of competition, not to forget, in the Premier League. We've got the big 6 clubs who are all doing considerably well, along with the likes of Leicester, Everton, West Ham, not to forget. So yeah, it's top 4 is a realistic expectation. Maybe third, maybe second. Obviously Manchester City, I don't expect us to win the title anymore. Maybe we should go for the top 4 and a bit focus on the other 2 competitions that we are still in, FA Cup and the Champions League. I think, in my opinion, we should actually focus on the FA Cup as well, because since it's quite an interesting fact that in 2003 or 4, since Roman Abramovich took over, Chelsea has never gone 2 seasons without winning a trophy. For example, in the 15-16 season, we did not win any trophy. It was a disastrous season. We came back and won the Premier League the very next season. And then we've won the FA Cup, Europa League. Last season, due to circumstances such as a transfer ban, we could not win any trophy. And now looking at this season, we are already out of the Carabao Cup and the Premier League. Despite this new rejuvenated Chelsea squad under the new manager, the title might just be a bit of a stretch, considering the run Manchester City are on. It's actually Pep Guardiola's biggest winning run in his entire career, which is quite mental considering the kind of teams he's managed, Barcelona, Bayern. So I don't see us winning the Premier League and even the Champions League, to be honest. I'm not so sure about the Atletico tie. I wouldn't rule out Chelsea completely, like many other fans have. I think we have a good amount of chance, but I don't think it would be easy. But even if we get into the quarterfinals, I don't really see us getting any further than that. Definitely not winning the competition. But FA Cup is one competition that we can still win, and then we can have at least one trophy for this season, because in the end of the day, it's the trophies that matter. Arteta has done nothing special in my opinion, even last season or this season in the league or other competitions. But he's been so good. He's being rated so well because of the FA Cup he won and the Community Shield that followed. So I do think that Chelsea must focus on this competition in particular. And yeah, the players need to take it as a game, one game at a time. I'm glad to see Timo Werner more involved. However, I would love to see a bit more goals from him, which is the main reason that we have signed him. Also excited to see Kai Havertz coming back. Not to forget that I've always been a big Kai Havertz fan and always defended him. For those who've seen my video on why Kai Havertz won't be a flop, I've clearly mentioned it and backed it by statistics that Havertz has been known to be a player who's been a slow starter in the Bundesliga and a strong finisher. And now we've had just 15 games to go, and this is a period I would really expect Kai Havertz to kick on at Chelsea, get some goals, get some assists, more involvement in the play, and show the fans why Chelsea and even other clubs like Bayern and Real were interested in signing him. And with this lengthy discussion of ours, I think that'll be the end of the podcast. I've covered many points, such as the game versus Sheffield. I've also spoken about some key players, some coming fixtures, and Tuchel, his start life as Chelsea manager. So thank you for listening till the end. Give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe to True Talk Chelsea for more top quality Chelsea content. Until next time, I'm Palash, signing off.